Over 20 years have passed since the signing of the Good Friday Agreement, which promised to bring with it a new and vibrant Northern Ireland. Polls have even consistently ranked Northern Ireland as the happiest place in the UK, and yet we have the highest rate of poor mental health than anywhere else in the country.
There are a lot of correlations that people will make. Most notable one, and the one that should be irrefutable, is the link to the Troubles. We know what a lot of the problems are, but unfortunately we're not really grasping the nettle to politically do anything about that at the moment.
Where political leadership has failed to prioritise those desperately in need, charities, local councils, health professionals and the good nature of ordinary people have been left to pick up the pieces. So, how can Northern Ireland be happy? Well, maybe we'll start with,
what makes you happy?
this is a question that sparked Mark Quinn's social media campaign, The Happiness Scrapbook, a project which focuses on sharing stories of positivity.
So it's asking people one simple question, what makes you happy? It sounds like it's going to be a simple question to answer, but it's really not, and some people have to really think about it. Generally the answers we sort of get back is what you would expect, like family, friends, love and support, that type of thing.
What makes me happy is to love and to be loved in return.
I love it when somebody really thinks about it and really thinks of something really interesting and out there, or even if they give a funny answer, that can be really, it can actually mean something, it can actually mean more. Can I just ask you what makes you happy?
Wiener dogs.
So that's the idea behind it, is literally just promote a bit more positivity on social media, because it can be such a negative place. So these are the original scrapbooks.
The idea for a digital scrapbook was born out of books he created throughout his life, of things that meant something to him, things that made him happy.
I had been doing the social media project, the Happiness Scrapbook, for about a year, and I started thinking, I'm really enjoying this and asking people questions and stuff. I thought maybe I could do longer scale interviews and do it in a podcast form. I love sitting one-on-one with a person and really digging into their life. Like, you've asked all these questions about who they are, why they're doing what they're doing, what they love, what their interests are, but then what makes them happy could be something completely different, and that's so fascinating and interesting to me. Hello and welcome to the Happiness Podcast.
The Happiness Scrapbook was a way for Mark to deal with the negative impact social media was having on his mental health. He simply wanted to spread some good news in a space dominated by the bad.
It took me a while to, I would have felt very validated by likes, and it took me a while to get my head around that and go, why do I care? Why do I care? I'm being sort of forced to care. The way apps are developed now, they are such a drain in our society right now. Every time you refresh, go back up to the top of your newsfeed, it triggers the same response in your brain as pulling the arm of a slot machine does, just to see what you're going to get. I've noticed even now that I'm definitely spending too much time on my phone, definitely, that's still the case. So I just wanted to create a more positive atmosphere. I wanted to do something for myself, to take myself out of it.
The world of social media isn't real, and I love to go into schools and talk to young people about how people show their highlight reel. I always try to encourage young people to remember that numbers don't matter, that this is an app that lives in your phone, that it's not real, that your reality lives outside your phone. And we talk about likes. No number of likes matter if you don't like yourself.
Annette has spoken across the country about the importance of mindfulness for all ages. She is the co-founder of Little Penny Thoughts, a business which focuses on mental well-being and delivering daily pockets of inspiration.
My whole aim was to create a positive space online. It wasn't to gain following, it wasn't to start a business. I was a teacher at the time, and the whole idea behind it was to create a space for people maybe to go and to maybe share my love of quotes. At the start, it all came from the page initially. It started in September 2015, and then in October I had a brainwave thinking, God, it'd be great if I could collate these quotes into a book. It was definitely overwhelming and exciting. So my sister, she did the design. This was the initial book. She did the design and the cover and the graphics inside, and as you can see, there's a quote for every day of the year, and it was in partnership with the Michaela Foundation.
Since then, The project has grown from strength to strength, with her Facebook page alone gathering over 300,000 likes.
One big thing that I've learnt through my own journey with my own mental health is that happiness is an inside job. In order to concentrate on your own well-being, you need to focus on yourself and not worry about what other people think of you or what other people are doing. Cut yourself some slack and know that you're doing the best you can, and remember you're enough. You always were enough and you always will be enough. So when I was at school, there was no focus on mental health, whereas now it's a up and coming subject. For me at the minute, to go around schools and talk about mental health is a real passion of mine, and I want to normalise the conversation around mental health. But I also know that it needs to be embedded across the curriculum. I have to go back to what really matters, and what matters is well-being.
At Bushido Dojo in Lisburn, good mental well-being is at the centre of what they do.
We teach karate and Krav Maga. Our ethos is to want you to be better than what you were the day before. So when you walk through this door, you're going to feel better walking out the door.
Gillian Brownut set up the dojo with her husband Stephen 1 year ago, but their passion for martial arts and teaching it to others is what brought them together in the first place, after meeting at a martial arts convention.
That's our release, is to teach people and to take part and train and learn different things every day is what sort of makes us stronger as well.
Their children also share this love of martial arts, and they all train together at Bushido.
I think it's great to do martial arts and have a martial art under your belt. Work like whoever you are, even if you're in the LGBTQ plus community. It's a great thing to know that you have your back, that you can defend yourself, that you don't need to count on others. That it's this independence that you get from it, and it's really good.
With 97 students, Gillian can see firsthand the effect martial arts can have on people's mentality and self-confidence.
Years ago in the 70s and all, mental health was sort of a taboo, and it was like, you've made your bed, lie in it, oh, you're depressed, just get on with it. That's, it's not fair. There's a lot on our kids at the minute. There's a lot on our kids to conform to society, do your degrees, do your A levels, do this, pressure, get a job, learn to drive. Yes, there should be more mental health for kids, and respect needs to be taught in the schools, and what way to do that respect is martial arts. Mental health is very important and close to my heart. Reason being is I had postnatal depression 21 years ago with my eldest, and I continued to have that throughout 4 different pregnancies. It's still a constant battle. I know what that's like. I know what panic attacks are like. I know what isolation feels like, even if you have loads of people around you. We teach martial arts, but one of the biggest fights in your life is in your head. So the demons inside my head, I fought through martial arts, and to me, basically, Krav Maga has saved my life. Karate has saved my life. This dojo has saved my life. At the end of the day, I thought, you know what, I'm fighting this. I used to have panic attacks. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to socialise. And if anyone sort of looked at me now, they would go, no, you don't. No, you don't, but you do. It's a constant battle every day. My dad was always my hero, and but one day I woke up and went, you know what, I'm being my own hero. Martial arts, it's also made me realise what I impact on other people. So what I can teach other people and what I impact in them, not just technically, but inside their own abilities and their own self-belief. And that makes me high as a kite. If everyone takes a wee leaf out of everyone else's book and does a wee bit in their community, in their area, well then why can't the MPs do that? No matter what religion you are, the people of Northern Ireland, you have a right here, and you have a right for your MLAs or to work for you. By helping one person, you're helping the whole Northern Ireland.
While organisations like Gillian's have been prioritising mental health for their community, the same cannot be said for the Northern Ireland government in recent years.
It would be fair to say that in 2016, when I was first elected and we sat, and I was on the health committee, that mental health was going to receive a priority. Sadly, as happens in Northern Ireland, other priorities take precedence. Nothing trumps protecting and saving life. And for me, the starting point for that in Northern Ireland is our chronic levels of poor mental health and high levels of suicide. We need to convince our 2 bigger parties that actually this is the starting point on the sort of brass tacks of diverting funding and making mental health a priority. Is absolutely vital that we have a devolved assembly doing that, because a fix from England for Northern Ireland won't work. A fix from the Republic of Ireland for Northern Ireland won't work. It has to be something that is created bespoke for the unique circumstances we've had here in Northern Ireland for a number of years. So therefore it has to come organically from the Assembly. But the good thing is younger people are talking about it. Younger people are not ignoring this. And that gives us the chance.
While Mark shares stories of ordinary people doing amazing things, he doesn't often talk about his own great work that he does within his community.
I've been involved with the Salary Club for 10 years. I've directed their show for the past 2 years. We put on a big production last year in Stroud Arts Centre, and it was fantastic and amazing. This year it was superheroes.
The title of this show is We Can Be Heroes.
But most importantly perhaps is the parents, and the parents seeing their child on stage. Not only have they got maybe 6 months of a Saturday morning respite, which, you know, their time is so precious, and like they've got 2 hours every Saturday morning to be able to do this, but then at the end of it they get to see their child up on stage doing something that they couldn't imagine their child could do, and that's where the real happiness comes. Seeing that and seeing the wider community of Oma where it's based, seeing them, their eyes light up as they're watching it is just, yeah, it's amazing. I love that. Like that's what I love doing. That's what I love doing. Like I love this podcast. I love all this, but that's what makes me happy. So I've just heard from Annette Kelly, Little Penny Thoughts, who's agreed to do the podcast, which is great. Maybe not today, they're a bit busy with the kids, but hopefully we'll arrange time that'll suit.
With so many of us in Northern Ireland facing a mental health issue, or knowing someone close to us that does, we need to start the conversation. Talk to one another, open up and break the stigma surrounding mental health.
So I'm here with Kelly. It is lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too, Mark.
So you are part of the brains behind Little Penny Thoughts. Do you see it as sort of this was your sort of calling?
Without a doubt, definitely my passion and purpose have collided, and Little Penny Thoughts has given me so many opportunities to travel all across Ireland, to deliver workshops, which I've named Wellness from Within. And I'm truly happy in my life now because I'm doing something that I'm very passionate about. I believe my pain led me to my passion, and now this is my purpose. However, if I can stop people from feeling that pain, because it is horrendous and it's awful, and your world is dark and it's black, and that's not the person that I am. Because I was always so bubbly all along, I used to think that I had to always be the life and soul of the party, but you know, the mask slips.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to tell anyone that maybe is in a place of struggle at the minute that, you know, it doesn't last forever, and that there is help out there, and that you have to really become your own hero and pull yourself out of the darkness, but there's plenty of people to help you along the way.
What makes you happy? So naturally, from asking people across the world what makes you happy, they always sort of go, what makes you happy then too?
If I can make someone else happy, if I can make someone else smile, if I can meet a need, there's nothing gives me more happiness than that.
Is that like personal connection with somebody?
Yeah, my family make me happy, my kids make me happy because they're giving me evils in the corner. But Stephen makes me happy, or I wouldn't be with him. But helping people, making them better people, is just second to none. Second to none. And a big bottle of wine.
If that's what it is, the answer that most people come back to is people. People make you happy.
What makes me personally happy is being around my friends and family, a good old night out, and generally what makes me happy is to see other people happy.
Well, that's the answer, like people. It's people.